No one really talks about Afrika Bambaataa anymore. A man once called one of the godfathers of hip hop, whose influence is everywhere, but whose name now sits in an uncomfortable silence. After his reported passing last week due to prostate cancer, I wanted to come on and do a breakdown about his legacy. Because to understand his legacy, you also have to confront the allegations that changed everything. This is not just a story about a DJ, a rapper, a record producer. This is the story of how hip hop was built in a time when black communities in the Bronx were fighting to survive, and how one of its architects became one of its most controversial figures. By the end of this video, you might see his legacy very differently. Afrika Bambaataa was born Lance Taylor in the Bronx, New York. This was the 1970s, a time where you had poverty and policies that left black communities in a disarray with limited access to resources. During that time, you had structural neglect, barriers to owning property, and also barriers in building stability. Like many young men in that environment, Taylor became involved in a gang, the Black Spades. But what made his story different is what came next. Instead of staying in that life, he reimagined it. It was almost as if some kind of light went off in his head. Inspired by African history and the film Zulu, he began to see leadership differently, not through fear, but through unity. And that idea would give birth to something the world had never seen before. Afrika Bambaataa became one of the key architects of hip hop, alongside DJ Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash. But he wasn't just playing records, he was organizing people, turning street energy into culture. Through the Universal Zulu Nation, he brought together DJs, artists, dancers, promoting peace, knowledge, culture, and self expression in communities that had been denied all three. This wasn't just music, this was transformation. And for a while, it worked. Hip hop spread across the Bronx, spread across New York, and spread across the world. His 1982 track, Planet Rock, didn't just change hip hop, it changed genres. But behind that influence, there were parts of the story that were dark, and most people didn't see them. We're going to fast forward now. We were in 1982 with his seminal track, Planet Rock. But in 2016, 34 years later, we were alarmed to hear of something different. In 2016, multiple individuals came forward accusing Afrika Bambaataa of child sexual abuse and exploitation, with allegations going back decades. Many of the accusers were young black boys from the Bronx, individuals who say they were looking for mentorship and instead experienced harm. One of the accusers, Bronx political activist Ronald Savage, accused Bambaataa of sexually molesting him in 1980 when Savage was 15. Now, Bambaataa denied the allegations. There was no criminal conviction, but the number of voices and the consistency of their accounts forced a reckoning that hip hop simply could not ignore. That next month, so the allegations came out in April 2016, and in May 2016, Bambaataa resigned from the Universal Zulu Nation. But the allegations stung, and within the black community, they hit hard. Because historically, protecting black children has always been a struggle. From the violence of slavery, to lynching, to systemic neglect, but also personally. It's the weirdo uncle. It's the person who sits in the corner at the barbecue that your aunties tell you to stay away from. There seems to always be a dark figure lurking somehow in the childhoods of Black children. So these allegations aren't really about one man. They raise urgent questions about accountability, power, and silence. Afrika Bambaataa helped build hip hop into a cultural force. That part of the story is undeniable. But legacy isn't just about what you create. It is also about the impact of what you leave behind and the truths that people are finally willing to confront. And now with his passing, the conversation isn't going away. All right, y'all, that was certainly one to grow on. Let me know what you think. What do you think of Afrika Bambaataa's legacy? Peace. See you next time.